Hello and welcome to BrookesTV News. I'm Ana Rado.
And I'm Elias Torizakis.
Multiple residents in the Cali Road area have reported a man watching and filming through women's windows at night.
Our reporter, Mia Harding, went to investigate.
Being safe at night isn't something we always think about, but have you ever thought about your safety in your own home? The Cowley Creeper is a word that's been circulating around Oxford for the past 4 years, with multiple statements about a man looking and filming through women's windows at night. We interviewed a victim of the crime, and this is what they had to say.
Going to bed, it was 1 a.m, around that, and I look up and I see someone, but I'm like, no, that can't be someone. And I look up again and it is someone because I saw him move. So initially that was fight or flight. My adrenaline kicked in and I ran. I was frightened and worried, and I was thinking, could he do something worse maybe the next time he comes back? But I filed a police report that night and they called me back and they told me that they were sending out police cars. But apart from that, there wasn't that much more they could really do because they didn't know what he looked like. I do think he's been watching me for a while. I just think coming once, getting caught, and then coming back again, it shows that it's been a reoccurring thing for a while now.
Should people be doing more to protect themselves in their own homes, like closing their curtains at night and getting cameras? How safe should we all feel, knowing people are going around feeling like they can invade your privacy? We interviewed residents of Cowley to see what they had to say.
We've got like double locked doors, like all windows are shut, curtains are drawn.
Yeah, cameras.
Same thing, like the Cowley Creeper, looking through their windows, and especially like they're my girlfriends, so like it's actually quite scary. Like I haven't like ever noticed anything of myself personally, but yeah, it's scary. Like I'm scared not just for myself, but for everyone else, you know?
The government states that 20% of women experience stalking and recommend taking precautions even within your own home. We contacted Thames Valley Police, but they have not issued a statement at this time.
Do you feel secure in your home at night? What could you do to improve your safety? Mia Harding, BrookesTV News.
If you feel you've been affected by this, please contact 101 for your local police.
Next up, parking prices are increasing in and around Oxford. Callum Kipros reports on how this has impacted residents in the city.
Car parking fines in Oxford have become a major talking point among residents and visitors alike. With numerous reports of hefty fines and confusing regulations, locals' opinions are divided on the fairness and effectiveness of the current system.
They should take into consideration what they do is they charge you. It seems like it's just a money-making scheme. It's not actually. They don't take into account you might have accidentally didn't realise there were bus lanes. You get charged for going in a bus lane, which I did.
Drivers parked on Mansfield Road have seen the highest number of penalty charge notices, with roughly 14 tickets per day being issued in 2024 alone.
I remember once I went for an appointment, I had no choice but to park in a car park. And you know what it's like with appointments, you're never on time. But I thought I'd put enough money in and I'd overstayed my welcome a few minutes and I'd already got a parking fine.
However, not everyone believes the system is flawed.
It was only £5 for 16 hours, not that we're going to stay for 16 hours, but it also includes your bus ride into the city centre and back to the car park. And it's our side of Oxford, so it was very, very good.
To gain further insight, we spoke with a driving instructor in Oxford who explained some of the common reasons for parking fines.
Sometimes it's just due to the learners or the new people not knowing where to park their car, what the regulations are. Sometimes road markings are hard to see or worn out, and sometimes even road signs are hard to find, and when you do find them, there could be so much on them that they're really hard to understand. Especially from car parks to car parks, they have different rules and regulations, so you can easily pick up a fine if you're not careful.
Oxfordshire County Council state on their website that having civil parking fines help reduce blocking of major routes by incorrectly parked vehicles, reduce congestion and improve air quality, and help encourage safer parking. The ongoing debate surrounding car parking fines in Oxford highlights the need for clearer communication and more driver-friendly regulations. While fines may be necessary to maintain order, it's essential to strike a balance between effectiveness and fairness to ensure a positive experience for all. Callum Kipros, BrookesTV News.
Next, we turn to Botley Road, where the ongoing road closure has left local businesses facing serious challenges.
Concerns are growing over the impact and the lack of response. Emily Tague has been speaking to those affected.
What started out as a temporary issue has now become a long-term problem for the businesses on Botley Road.
In January, the road closure was extended by 18 months, making life even harder for those who rely on this route.
Originally set to finish in October 2024, delays now push the reopening to August 2026, leaving businesses struggling. The closure, part of Network Rail's £161 million redevelopment of Oxford Station, has cost local businesses an estimated £20 million, with some seeing trade drop by 20%.
I felt truly sick. I mean, terrified, and I still am. It's just that a retailer is always so positive, you can't help yourself, otherwise you'd never be in retail. But the thinking about what's to come is very, very nervy making. I'm hoping to, have business up until August, and after that I don't know.
We are managing to keep on going. Our heads are just about above water, but there are plenty of other businesses that I have met the owners and been at meetings where they have described their situation as utterly appalling.
Business owners say their biggest frustration isn't just the delays, but the lack of action from authorities. Some blame Network Rail, while others point to the council.
The blame for this is purely with Network Rail. It is their project, and it is their project that has gone very, very wrong and been very badly managed. So the blame is with them, and it's for them to put things right.
It's utterly, utterly dreadful and completely and utterly shocking that nobody is speedily from Network Rail or Thames Water or the council or whoever is putting together some form of aid package for businesses.
Network Rail has defended the project, saying it has faced unique challenges, including archaeological discoveries, leaks, and the complicated network of utility pipes in the area. The company has apologised for the latest delay, calling it upsetting news.
I have put in a motion to Oxford City Council to see whether Oxford City Council as an administration would be prepared to sue Network Rail to look for damages, but unfortunately the answer we've had for that is they don't think that is legally possible.
For many, the impact of these delays goes beyond finances, creating emotional strain and community disruption. As uncertainty grows, so does concern for the future of Oxford. A County Council Transport Management leader has said, "We have been working hard with stakeholders on the implications of the new date for the reopening of the Botley Road." Emily Tague, BrookesTV News.
Cleaner air and a healthier city. Oxford City Council show that small changes can lead to big results. Here's Isabella Carlson with more.
Oxford has made a significant progress in improving the air quality. A recent report from the Oxford City Council reveals a 14% decrease of nitrogen dioxide levels across the city, which is more than the natural average reduction of 9%. This improvement is largely due to the introduction of the zero emission zone across the city centre.
I feel like when I'm walking around outside and things, it's a lot more clean and fresh, which is nice. I think it's really good that they've improved it.
The Zero Emission Zone, launched in February 2022, limits high-emission vehicles in key parts of the city unless they meet strict standards. This has helped reduce traffic-related pollution in Oxford. Residents hope other cities will adopt similar initiatives inspired by the improvements seen here.
I think it's really good for all the cities to implement it, and I think it would be really good for all the future generations to have clean air in their cities.
Some residents, like this one, have also made personal changes, opting for more sustainable transport options like cycling instead of relying on their cars.
Started using my bike more, and I think it's really good that everyone else in the community is doing that, and that they're helping do that by putting in bike lanes and things.
These small choices, like cycling more, are the things that are making a big positive impact on Oxford's air quality, not just today, but for the future too. And as more people get involved, the effects are only growing stronger, one step at a time.
Oxford's success in reducing air pollution really shows how local initiatives can make the difference. The hope is now that other cities will follow, improving air quality and creating healthier environments for all. Reporting from BrookesTV, I'm Isabella Carlson.
Next, I take a closer look at the growing student housing crisis in Oxford and the challenges many Oxford Brookes students are currently facing. Oxford's student housing crisis has worsened in 2025, with rising rents and severe shortage of available properties leaving many students struggling to secure accommodation. On average, students now spend £1,200 per month on rent, with many paying significantly more. Private housing prices have surged due to high demand and limited supply, forcing some students to live further from the city or share overcrowded spaces.
Honestly, it's been really stressful. I had to start looking months in advance to find somewhere remotely reasonable. Like, everywhere's really expensive and all the cheaper places get taken really fast.
Student housing in Oxford remains expensive, whether in old or new buildings. Many students are left with small, overcrowded spaces, struggling to afford better options.
I'm paying around £850 a month rent, which is just for a small room with an ensuite, but I share the kitchen with 6 people. It's actually on the lower end. Some of my friends pay over £1,000 a month, not including their bills.
Well, compared to where I live in Sweden, I pay a lot more here than I do in Sweden for a lot less, so not really. Yeah, last year we paid a lot, but it's gotten even worse, so we pay even more now. Even if they are building new buildings, I think it's still too much for the rent.
Oxford acknowledges the growing student housing crisis and has started partnerships to develop more accommodation. However, many students feel these efforts are moving too slowly to make a difference. With rising rents, overcrowded, and limited affordable options, they continue to struggle while waiting for a real, lasting solution. For now, students are still dealing with high rents and limited housing options. Many hope things will get better soon, but there are no clear solutions yet. Reporting from BrookesTV, Ana Rado. Stay tuned as we look into the Oxford Boot Hub and the rise of women in motorsports.
See you after the break. Welcome back to BrookesTV News. Food wastage has always been an issue. Unfortunately, we see that wastage levels are constantly increasing around Oxford each year.
Rosie Lobo visited the Oxford Food Hub to see what they're doing to counter this issue as they strive to help the local charities around Oxford.
The UK wastes approximately 9.25 million tonnes of food every year, which totals enough to feed up to 30 million people. Yet 8.4 million live in food poverty in the UK. In addition to this, 70 kilograms of food is wasted by each person in the UK, on average, which is the equivalent of 140 meals per person. Consumer habits such as overbuying, improper storage, and discarding leftovers definitely play a significant role in the food wastage. Labels such as best before and used by can cause confusion for many consumers, as they can interpret these labels as indicators of food safety over quality. The Oxford Food Hub is a key player in surplus food redistribution across Oxfordshire, supplying food to more than 200 charities and community organisations. Since its founding, the Oxford Food Hub has been collecting surplus food from local businesses, supermarkets and individuals. These donations now form the backbone of a crucial community service. We talked to some of the volunteers and managers to get a better understanding of the Oxford Food Hub.
So I actually started off volunteering here for a few months, and then a job came up and I got it. And I think the reason I was interested in working here is just because I'm very passionate about the environmental aspect of it, but then also the fact that we help charities that work in communities with a lot of need. So it's just a really sort of like virtuous cycle, if you like. We're doing the environmental aspect, but then the food goes to really valuable causes in communities around Oxford.
Volunteers' efforts at the Oxford Food Hub not only help to reduce food waste, but also foster a strong sense of community. With the continued support of local businesses, the hub has been able to grow its impact, reaching more individuals and families in need with each passing day.
Just have to spend a day on one of our vans dropping food at the charities that we work with, and you can see how much of an impact it's having. So effectively, the charities we work with they're already on such a tight shoestring of a budget that actually getting food in for free and good quality fresh food from us means they can spend so much more of their budget on their actual impact areas.
According to the Oxford Food Hub, food redistribution efforts by organisations across the UK like theirs have made a staggering impact, providing the equivalent of 133 million meals in 2018 alone. This remarkable achievement underscores the power of collaboration and highlights the transformative potential of redistributing surplus food to address hunger on a national scale, all thanks to the volunteers at the Oxford Food Hub. This is Rosie Lobo for BrookesTV.
Mental health is a prevalent issue affecting a lot of students of various ages on a daily basis. However, is this focused on enough?
Sarah Lockhart visited Oxford Brookes University to see how they're supporting students with their well-being and looks into where these students can go if they have any concerns.
Mental health is a growing concern for young adults and university students. Around 1 in 5 students have a probable mental health disorder that affects their daily lives. At Oxford Brookes University, student well-being is important. By providing peaceful outdoor spaces and support services, the university works hard to improve the mental health of its student community. But it's not just these spaces that make a difference. Oxford Brookes Multi-Faith Chaplaincy offers a safe, confidential environment for students to find support. I spoke to one of the chaplains to learn more about the difference the chaplaincy is making to student well-being.
I'm Kate Harford. I'm the University Chaplain and Pastoral Care Lead at Oxford Brookes University. I started working here in December 2012. I've worked in higher education since about 2008 when I was a student union welfare officer in London. So multi-faith chaplaincy is a team of people, a suite of spaces, and I suppose a number of services. The spaces we have on Headington campus are the garden room that we're sitting in now, which functions in a number of different ways. It can be used as a common room or an informal prayer room. Sometimes we're using it for our own activities. Yesterday was Ash Wednesday at the time of recording, and so we had an Ash Wednesday service in here and a workshop in the afternoon about how to use craft in your prayers and meditations. We've also been having students in here in the evenings. It's currently Ramadan, and so people have been coming in to break their fast and share some social time with friends. And we also offer one-to-one pastoral care for students, which, depending on their preference, can be in person, online, might be going out onto campus and finding somewhere to have a coffee, or it might be a confidential conversation in an office. And all of the chaplains will work with anybody of any faith, belief or worldview. The easiest way to get in touch with us is to send us an email, and our email address is really, really easy. It is simply the word chaplaincy, so chaplaincy@brookes.ac.uk. And you can say as much or as little as you like in that initial email. It might just be, my name is Fred and I would like to speak to a chaplain. What matters to us in a pastoral care appointment is that somebody is accessing the support that they need.
This is Sarah Lockhart, BrookesTV News.
On to a more sporty topic, motorsport has seen a rise in viewership in recent years, with a noticeable increase in female participation. It's clear that the sport once dominated by men now features women in key roles.
I visited Brookes University and interviewed female students enrolled in the course to gather their views on the topic, as well as an exclusive interview with a design engineer at Omar Engineering.
From the factory to the paddock and even to the drivers themselves, the motorsport industry has been seeing a growing increase in women's participation across the field. It has been found that the percentage of female participation in motorsport is 10%. Karting accounts for 40% of female participation within all motorsport. However, by the time the karting drivers progress to Formula and GT racing, that percentage drops to 7%, which drops to a further 4% in the top categories of the sport. I talked to Georgie Mitchell to find out more about the importance of women in key engineering and manufacturing fields.
Engineering, women tend to approach problems really differently to men, and I think especially in a sport where it's like really fine margins, having those different opinions makes you more likely to get a design that's going to make you faster, make you better than everyone else. Women are really important to sort of get that balanced approach in every aspect, not just the engineering side. They tend to look at a problem more like holistically and as a whole.
Back in 2022, F1 Academy was announced to Formula fans across the world. Founded by Susie Wolff, Formula One Academy is a racing series for women, aiming to develop and prepare young female drivers to reach top levels of competitions. F1 Academy is not the only organisation that has been created to help support young women in the field of racing. Girls on Track is a community that aims to grow the number of women in motorsport, and the More Than Equal organisation, founded by David Coulthard, was set up to open those gates. But that's not all that has been put into place to help aspirational, enthusiastic young girls to achieve their dreams. Many universities in the UK and around the world have Formula student racing teams, such as Queen Mary's University of London, Stuttgart, Germany, and Oxford Brookes University. I talked to a few of the ladies in the Oxford Brookes racing team on ways to encourage the younger generation.
You could do anything in it, and any career could be yours someday. Being able to make a name for yourself purely because you are who you are and not because, oh, you're a woman someone thinks is pretty or popular. Finding a way to make your work showcase who you are, what you can do, and all your capabilities, aside from the people you work with or how other people view you.
You know, you can see the women starting to become in those more higher up positions, and that really shows that, you know, if they can do it, you can do it. Women tend to get chosen to do tasks that are more design based or artistic based, and you know, you can do the physics and the math side of things. Believe in yourself. If you believe in yourself and believe that you can do it, then you're already one step ahead of the people that have self-doubt, so you're already there.
With the first female engineer working with Esteban Ocon this Formula One season, women across the field are as motivated as ever to break through the glass ceiling. It is only up and up for these women. This is Elias Tosakis, BrookesTV News. From the starting line to the finish line, whether it's engines or trainers, the participation of women running in Oxford and in the UK has seen a huge increase.
This impact was shown in the number of female runners in the London Marathon. Tilly Brown reports whether social media has affected this growth.
Running is increasingly becoming more popular, resulting in a growing interest for women in the sport. Nearly an equal split of 49.03% of women applied in the public ballot for the 2025 London Marathon, compared to 2024 with 46.4%. But will this trend last? There are many opportunities for women around Oxford to access running. I took a morning at University Park's Park Run to discover more.
I think that University Park's Park Run's really created a community here. It's helped people get into running. People can come along. It's a very inclusive event. They can choose to walk, they can choose to run, sprint. Some people go for their personal best, and afterwards people sort of socialise, maybe go for a coffee, and yeah, it's just a really nice atmosphere.
So I started doing park runs in October, so I've done it for a few months, and I think it helped my running in terms of just being able to have like a set time and place to go on a Saturday. So yeah, just pushing me to go running, essentially.
TikTok statistics have shown that the hashtag running has been used in over 6 million posts and 11,000 posts this week alone. I had the opportunity to interview Alyssa, head sprint coach of Oxford Brookes Athletics, and got her thoughts on the increased participation due to social media.
I absolutely hate TikTok coaches. I hate all social media coaches. Like, anyone can put anything they want on social media. And as someone who has spent a lot of time getting myself qualified, it's quite frustrating, especially when athletes come back and they're saying, oh, well, I saw on TikTok that we should do this or that. And yeah, no, I think get a professional, get someone that you know is qualified for advice.
I followed Oxford Girls Running Club on their weekly Monday run and spoke to some of the girls on their personal experiences in running.
I think due to social media, running's become a trend in the best way possible. I think social media has really helped a lot of people recognise that running isn't as bad as what people used to think it was. So I think that a lot of people were afraid of running, like it's so hard. But I think social media has made it so that so many people are more excited to do it, which I think is really good.
Although there is a huge positive online persona of running, there are some challenges women face within the sport.
I think the most common is just catcalling with men in general, and also being in the UK is not very sunny, it's quite dark often, so it's quite nice to have a community to go people running with together, so you don't feel like you're alone on your own or you might get lost, especially when you're in this new city. So
according to Strava's report in 2024, there was an 89% increase in women joining running clubs compared to 2023. Will this continue to grow in 2025? This is Tilly Brown from BrookesTV News.
We hope you enjoyed today's episode.
You can find all our previous episodes by searching for the BrookesTV YouTube playlist. For any stories you think we should cover, you can email us at brookestv@brookes.ac.uk, as we'd love to hear from you.
See you next time.
Goodbye.